Okay, welcome to 10 really unique, really clever Android applications for 2019. Let's get right into it. First up, we've got Paletta, which when you load a photo into it, takes out all the color and splits it into its components. It then lets you add back in the components of your choice only. So say for example you wanted to highlight the foreground or remove all but one color in the photo, you can do that. Next up is Atomus, and I don't usually cover applications like this, but this one is very well executed. It's meant to calm you down, and it does this by playing peaceful music while giving you full control over 12,000 particles. And you can control it with up to 10 fingers, and each one you introduce creates a new dynamic. You're probably starting to hear more and more about augmented reality. People are becoming more and more convinced that this is the future, and one of the best ways to experience it on Android is with Safari Central. It's a simple application. It gives you 6 different animals to pick from, and you can make them appear in your environment by introducing a trigger. For example, a dollar bill, and even if you didn't have one, you could just pull one up on your laptop or phone screen. I'm probably going to butcher the name here, but Moasure is a way that you can use your smartphone's internal sensors to map out the dimensions of a real-life object. All you do is place the phone against some sort of surface, tap the measure button, and then move it to the end of that surface, and then it will complete the measurement. It's a work in progress, but generally it's pretty accurate. But we can take it up a notch. Using the updated version of Google's AR Core, this is AR Plan 3D, which you can also use to pretty accurately measure real-world objects, but also at the same time while being able to visualize them in 3 dimensions. You can calculate how big your room is, you can figure out how big a cupboard needs to be, or check if something you're planning on buying will actually fit in it. There are a lot of applications for white noise, or soundtracks that people might use for tranquility, but this one is a market for white noise. Users submit soothing sounds they've heard from different parts of the world, which means that when you're using the app, you can scroll across a map, find a location that you want to feel like you're being transported to, and listen to audio from that location. InboxIt is a slightly different way of saving web pages for later. Instead of the usual methods like bookmarking them or adding them to a list, when you share something with this, it emails you a copy. So I guess it's for high priority things that you really need to get done, or just for people who prefer having everything in one place, in their inbox. Android is definitely not short of note-taking apps, but this one might be the best I've ever used. It's got all the basic standard features like being able to organize and sort and attach different labels to different kinds of notes, but you can bring these notes up on top of whatever you're doing at any time. You can also record voice notes, which you can then listen back to as many times as you want to. And you can also create notes which you can tick to cross them off once you've done them. And probably my favorite feature is you can lock notes. So if you're hiding something sensitive, you can lock it behind a fingerprint or a pin. I didn't think that I'd be featuring an application from Ikea on this list, but if you haven't heard of Ikea Place, it is one of a kind. It allows you to visualize furniture that is from their store in your real environment, and the actual tracking that it has on these objects is some of the best I've seen from any AR application. Objects retain their original dimensions, and you can place as many as you want in your environment, and it doesn't forget where they were originally placed. For those of us who probably could have spent more time concentrating in history, this application I think is a really digestible and fun way to learn it. Essentially, it is a timeline which shows all the main events from the Big Bang to the creation of the sun to the Crusades during the Middle Ages, and it not only puts everything in order for you, but if you ever wanted to know more about one particular thing, you can just tap it. If you enjoyed this video, I've got a ton of app content, so I'm going to leave that linked to this video. And as always, my name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.